In this video, I'm going to get to the facts about gaming and kids and maybe dispel some of the rumors that we may have believed over the years. What's up everyone, it's Craig Carter here with Dale Dumbs It Down. Now, I have been gaming since I was a kid, but back in the early 90s, all I had was a Sega Genesis. They had those cartridges that you had to blow on to make them work, you know, and you shove them in the... You may not remember, but today, gaming is everywhere for our kids. It's a big part of their lives. It's on their PCs, it's on their mobile devices, it's on Xbox, PlayStation, all of the above. But I'm a parent now. I grew old. I don't know how it happened, but it did.
It's been 84 years.
And I have 3 kids of my own who like to game, so I decided it would be appropriate today to look into some of these bigger gaming myths we have as parents and see if there's any validity to them. Now, I've heard some crazy things out there. Like, my daughter just can't make friends because she's always on her games. Or my son is fighting with his siblings because he's playing too much Fortnite. I've heard a lot of them. And I think there's some truth to them, but I think most of them are just a bit far-fetched. People may even believe that this is the root of a lot of kids' problems when it comes to obesity, or social isolation, or even violent issues that they may have. That's why we thought this was a pretty big issue that we should tackle on this channel, and we decided to hit a couple of the bigger rumors and talk about each one of them. Myth number 1 is that gaming leads to obesity. Now, we've all seen the images of videos of middle-aged men drinking their huge Mountain Dews and Cheetos till all hours of the night, so there may be some truth to this one. When it comes to obesity in gaming, it's not the gaming itself that is causing us to be obese. Obesity comes from the high-calorie, low-nutrient snacks often associated when we're gaming. Marcus Apple from the University of Wartburg did a little study on this, and he said, given our results, it is likely that the energy intake, food and drinks, and their energy expenditures are not closely related to playing games. Now, we understand that gaming doesn't necessarily lead to a healthy lifestyle. It certainly does not. But it is more a product of what our kids are eating while they're gaming, rather than the gaming itself. And if you don't believe me, go fire up your VR headset and play Beat Solo on hard for an hour. I guarantee you will work up a sweat. Now, myth number 2 is that gaming will lead to social isolation. And I think a lot of this comes from when we were kids. When we were kids, we didn't have gaming around as much. We had to go outside. We had to meet people in real life. But times are changing, that's for sure. And so we need to see if there's any truth to this. Let's take a look at some research here. One study found that there's no significant difference between the amount of time kids spend on video games and the amount of time they spend talking to their friends. In fact, kids who played video games were more likely to have friends than those who did not. This was interesting to me.
That's interesting.
Another study found that there's no significance between the amount of time played and a kid's self-esteem. Now we know that kids use gaming to help them with their behavioral issues or all the teenage issues that they have to deal with in their life, but it's the games itself leading to social isolation. I believe that if they're used in moderation, that they are not. But if we start to see these signs in our kids, we definitely should check in. Now, the number 3 myth that we want to tackle today is that gaming leads to violent behavior. There is a pervasive myth out there that gaming, the amount of time gaming, can lead to more violence in your child. But there is little to no scientific evidence to prove this. Now we know there's a lot of violent video games out there. There's a lot of violent media in general, and we need to be very careful with that. But what I find interesting is when a parent out there would never dare let their kids watch a rated R movie or a rated M TV show, but they don't even check the rating on the games that they play. To me, that's where we should start.
Oh, snap!
Most people are able to play video games and be well-adjusted people in society with no problems. But there are those few that I think are a little bit more susceptible to the violence or the time played with a video game. And that's where you come in, the parent. Unfortunately, this is not a one-size-fits-all sort of thing. It is a case-by-case basis, and only you know what your child can handle and what they cannot handle, what they should be exposed to and what they should not be exposed to. What I've concluded is video games are not the enemy here. We need to stop blaming video games for your child's bad behavior. It is up to us as parents, as the protectors, to be involved with our children, to make sure that this thing that is influencing their life so greatly is something that we are okay with. My son started playing Fortnite when he was 6 years old. And we looked at it ahead of time. We deemed it appropriate, like we're supposed to. But we did notice a change in his behavior when he played a lot of it. He'd get very emotional. He'd get very upset when we told him he had to turn the game off. He'd fight with his sisters when it came to who has what controller, what map they're on, things like that. So we just made a little tweak. We had to make a little tweak. We dialed back the amount of time that he was able to play until he could behave in a more appropriate manner when it came to the video game. And it did wonders. Please. And I hate to get preachy.
Can I preach to him? Preach on.
But please, get involved with their world. Get involved with their gaming. It may not interest you, but your children's interests should interest you. And all it takes is a little communication, a little sit down. You can both figure out what is a healthy amount of screen time and what is best for your family. If you found any of this helpful, please like, subscribe, whack the little bell thing, and as always, thank you for watching.